The National Family Planning Program in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment hosted a men's health symposium in Canouan on May 26th and 27th under the theme Healthy Men Living with Purpose, Building on Health. The symposium was geared at heightening the general awareness of preventable health problems amongst men while encouraging early detection and treatment of diseases. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment, through the National Family Planning Program, have been conducting programs to incorporate men from different institutions within the country. The focus for 2018 is Men in the Workplace in Canouan. The program was interactive as it was divided into small focus groups where men from a mixed age range were able to learn while sharing their personal experiences. When it comes to prevention and early detection, men's health often takes a backseat to women's health. Research, however, shows that compared to women, men are more likely to smoke and drink alcohol and generally lead less healthy lifestyles. Additionally, men are more likely to put off routine checkups and delay seeing a healthcare provider for symptoms of a health problem. Compared to working age women, working age men are less likely to have a regular doctor and health insurance. The workshop was timely as it was important for men to understand their risk factors and how they can improve their overall health. The most common conditions affecting men includes heart disease, testicular, colon cancer, and osteoporosis later in life, all of which have important nutritional implications. Hence the role of a nutritionist on the team to assist with helping men in this area. Fortunately, many of the health conditions and diseases that men face can be prevented or treated if found early, and that was important to let them know in order to influence them to start taking better care of their health.
So let me just say good morning again and thank you for coming. My name is Camille John. I'm a dietitian attached to the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment on the mainland, St. Vincent. I'm happy to see the majority of men here. Well, the majority here so far are men, and the symposium is based on you. So just today, I'm just going to take you back a little bit about your food, your diet, and the foods you should be eating, and so on. So, anybody here have high blood pressure, hypertensive? No, diabetic? Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what a balanced diet is, because most time we tend to eat what we like and forget about the other food that we don't like. So a balanced diet needs to contain food from all the main groups in the correct proportion to provide the body with the optimum nutrition. So if you don't eat food from the 6 food groups, you're also known as malnourished. Malnourished doesn't mean you're underweight. It could mean you're obese too. So you're eating too much of one food. It should also be made up of the correct number of calories. So everybody are based so for those that I did took your weight and your height, I was doing your BMI to know if you're within range. So if you're within range, if you're obese or overweight. So now I could go ahead if I like and do a diet plan for you. So based on your height and your weight, I do a diet plan based on and come up with some calories. So everybody calories intake is different. Calories is basically the energy you get from your food, right? Every person is different, as I explained, and the correct diet is healthy for many, vary from person to person. However, following a diet that is cover all food groups and is in undesirable nutrients such as sodium, saturated fat, sugar, which I find a lot of us consume a lot of food, like the processed food in the tins, the sugary snack, like my friend here, she said she loves her biscuit or tea time biscuit and so on. Okay, so I'm just going to take you back to basics. So there are 6 food groups. 6 food groups are food from the animals, your staple, your carbohydrates, your legumes, your fats and your oil and your fruits. Right, so here we have pictures with food from animals. Your staples are like okay, so you will say a banana and a corn here, and you might say, but they're not carbohydrates, because most of the time we think about ground provision, we think about carbohydrate and rice. But corn and banana contain a lot of carbohydrates. Yeah? Then you have your legumes, basically your peas, your lentil, your red beans, and your black eyes. Then you have your vegetables, your pumpkin, your corn, and so on. Then we have your fats and oils. So you have your oils, you see your butter here. Also, what people don't realize, like mayo is a type of fat. And we like to consume it, especially on a Sunday with the Sunday lunch, not true? We like that creamy potato, right, in it? Right, and then you have your fruits. And I know down here you have a problem with the fruits and the vegetables, because during, you know, when I'm on mainland, I'm seeing patients from the Grenadines, they say they tend to have problem sourcing vegetables and fruits. And if they source it, it's very, very expensive. But my advice to you, especially with the vegetables, if you buy tomatoes, you dry it out, you plant the seeds, right? You can get a flower pot, you don't have to get a big backyard to help to get some of that nutrients. Your fruits and your vegetables are full of vitamin C, so it's very good. Good for your skin, good for your hair, and so on. So here I have, well, a depiction, all is missing is legumes of how, you see how is the, okay, so in the St. Vincent, you know we love our food, we like to pile our plates high. We don't know anything about portion control, we know we like it and we want more of it. So we like plenty chicken, we pile up a plate with plenty chicken, but in reality you're really supposed to eat just a small amount. There's a serving size, and I'll give you some pamphlets on serving size so you can have a better idea of what I'm talking about. So here I have, this is how a plate is really supposed to look. You have a bit of carbohydrates, not too much of rice, because we love rice. We pile up the plate with rice. We ain't see no salad on the plate like yet. You like ground provision, you have a whole heap of ground provision, but no, you're supposed to have a bit. So you see, so this is a plate, just divide it in 4, or if you had legumes which is missing, you divide it in 5. So a small bit of, so your carbohydrates, which is your rice, or your pasta, yeah, you have a little bit of that. Like a pot spoon is 1 serving size. A pot spoon, yes, not a level pot spoon is a serving size of rice. Then you have your meat. So your serving size could be up to 8 ounces of meat, right? Spread across the day, you don't have to have it one time. Then you have your vegetables. And then, this is your vegetables, and then you have your leafy vegetables. The thing is with leafy vegetables, you could eat as much and it won't add to your weight or anything, and it's really, really good. And then your legumes, if I was to put the legumes in there, right, take this out, because then you could turn the fruits now into a drink. And if you put the legumes there, so there you have a balanced diet. Okay, so if we continue to eat unhealthily, so if we have too much of one thing, I say too much of one thing is good for nothing. So if we continue to eat the things like the sugary food and we don't have a balance to it, if we continue to eat the high sodium food, there's effects on your body. So one of the effects is overweight or being obese. You could develop high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease. You could develop acid reflux as well. So risk factor of being overweight. Now when you're overweight, like myself, I know I need to lose 44 pounds, but I exercise, right? I do exercise, I practice what I preach. So if you're overweight, I'm at risk, or if you're overweight, you're at risk of developing high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease or stroke, or type 2 diabetes. Okay, so as I was explaining, and those who I took your weight and height, I was telling you about your body mass index, and I calculate your height based on, I calculate your BMI based on your height and your weight. So remember I was saying to Mr. Garway that if he tip over, so you're supposed to be a healthy weight is between 8.5 to 24 for a healthy weight, right, BMI. If you're over 25 to 29, I'm not going to call names, you're overweight, you need to lose a little weight. 30 to 39, you're obese, and if you're above 40, you're morbidly obese. So here I have a picture of a morbidly obese person, and I could guarantee you have some complication with his heart, diabetes or something, he has that. Okay, so risk factors of being overweight, it could cause your death, as I explained to you, high blood pressure, it could cause high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, your heart disease, a stroke, it could cause gallbladder disease, and osteoarthritis. So sometimes you hear overweight people complain about the knees, right? Or sleep apnea or breathing problems. Sleep apnea is basically you can't sleep properly at night. So in the red, in food, if you notice that food to avoid in red, so they're dangerous. So if you're overweight, you wanna avoid sugary food, which I was saying, sugary drinks, which we like a lot. White bread, we wanna avoid candies, fruit juice. We wanna avoid pastry because, believe it or not, you see the bread that we love so much, trust me, Vinci love bread. When that breaks down in your body, it breaks down to simple sugar, which add to your weight. And you would like, but I just eat some bread. I know I ain't eating nothing. And it's the bread, trust me, because it breaks down now into sugar, and it's the amount. One slice of bread, that's a serving. Not 2 penny bread, not 4 slices of sliced bread. Yes. Ice cream. Food to eat now. If you eat your whole grains, your oats. Oats is really good. It's good. It's healthy and it's filling, right? You need to eat your vegetables, a variety of your vegetables. You need to eat your whole fruits, not the juices, not the tin juices we like to buy and so. But if you can get the fresh fruits, right? Your nuts and your seeds, your plant oil like your olives and your vegetable oil. Those are the best oils to use. You drink a lot of water. I find a lot of people don't drink a lot of water. Anybody had water for the morning? You? How much of water would you say you're drinking a day? Plenty. Okay. It's good for your skin, it's good for your kidneys also. Alright. So high blood pressure is one of the if remember I was saying if you don't eat a balanced diet you could end up with high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is basically when your blood pressure, the force of your blood pushing against the wall in the blood vessel is consistently too high, right? And that could be caused by so the normal pressure guide, right, as we were saying, Mr. James, you're 120/80. So remember we're saying that's normal. If it go over 120, if it's 120 to 139 above or 80 to 89 below, which is the if systolic is 120 to 139, that's borderline height, so you're pushing for high blood pressure, right? And high blood pressure is stage 1 if it's 140 over 90, or if it's really, really high, stage 2 is 160 over 100. That's really high. It could cause stroke and also mess up your arteries and so on. So effects, as I said, stroke. So high blood pressure could cause vision to your eyes, vision loss, heart attack, kidney disease. It actually mash up your kidneys, and you know dialysis is real high, right? Sexual dysfunction in men. So sometimes you have high blood pressure and you realize you can't keep it up. That's one of the effects of having high blood pressure. Heart failure.
So we're here at the Men's Health Symposium and we're one of the participants. Tell me how you found the session this morning.
For me, basically, I find it really good, important to me because certain things will speak to you and I don't really know. And coming here educate me about certain things because sometimes you feel, man, you could keep out that little pain and you never know that little pain could cause something bigger than when you think there's a little pain, you understand? So I think, well, it helped me, she should do this more often because it's real good to me for sure. Others, I don't know how you go impact on others, but for me, it's been good for me because it helped me educate me about things that we didn't know. Right? So it's all I feel.
When you went into the group sessions, how you found those? Where you think it was like effective in like breaking down the information, or what were your thoughts about the group sessions?
Well, the group sessions, well, I've been really good because, okay, you see how they bring it to us. They don't really feel because now they're educated, they should have bring it in a high class. They break it down to like standards, like if you're not going to school, they break it down so you could understand. And well, you know, for sure, you help out a lot of people who've been in a group session because you know how them break it down real, too down to the smallest point, right? So we find that real helpful to me.
Is this something that you'd encourage other young men or men in general to come to, and why?
Well, as I say before, we go encourage them because they might feel you know something which I might have not at all. So yeah, we encourage other people to come whenever this happens and encourage all the people to do this more often.
Can you tell me how you found this men's health session today?
It was very interesting. We learned a lot today. And we thank you all very much for coming and sharing your knowledge with us. And we hope you will continue to do so we could get a lot of enlightenment about the prostate, especially the man reproductive system.
Is this something that you'd encourage other males to come and be a part of?
Yeah, I encourage a lot of males many times to go and check their prostate because I know it's a serious problem. Because when it gets complicated, when you get complicated, it's very difficult. So
Okay.
I had the experience with my father, so I know what it's like.
What do you think the feedback was like in the group that you were a part of?
Well, it was good. We share our knowledge with each other and we learn from each other. And everything. It was good. It was interesting.
Morning. Thank you for taking the time out to do this interview with me. Can you tell me how you found the men's health session this morning up until this point?
It was very good. There's stuff in there that I think that we learned a lot today. Up to now, that is. Um, I know this is an issue for men, especially that you don't come to things like this, and the more you have of these sessions, probably more encouragement you give to men to come out with this. Because I know we have a lot of issues when it comes to the subjects that we're talking about here today. Nice to see the amount of persons here. I mean, it could have been better, but you have to be glad that the numbers are as they are here. Yes, it's a good session. I think we should have more meals.
Okay. How you found what you thought about them breaking down the session into like more focus groups where persons could just, share their personal experiences? What you thought about that approach to the session?
Yeah, good approach. I figured that it's sort of easier for a person to share in smaller groups, and you get a more interactive participation, in smaller groups. So yes, that's a good idea.
Okay. Is there any encouragement you would give to other men to come and support things like this, or any encouragement to the Ministry of Health for doing stuff like this?
Yes, well, our congrats to the Ministry of Health, because I was at one point thinking that persons here were left out of the mix of stuff, but I'm glad to see that you all are here, and we appreciate the fact that persons take the time out to come in. Some follow-up and some encouragement, anything that could be done to sort of encourage us, help us, can't keep contact, and anything we can do to sort of help to spread the word, because as it is important, if you're in Symposium and we don't hear, it's difficult for, so if we in any way could assist or help in the whole spreading of the gospel, if you want to call it that, we would like to do that.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
No problem.
So we're here with one of the participants in the program. Can you tell me how you found this symposium today?
With a friend. With a friend, but I get I find it very interesting, very educational. I would encourage any young man, any young person to join the group and listen on.
Okay, so what was one of the main things that you learned today?
Well, I learned about the prostate cancer, different type of disease you could catch, and how to take care of health and diet and so on.
Are you happy you came?
Yeah, very happy.
Why?
Well, I get to learn something new, meet new people, and find someone very troublesome, just like myself.
All right, thank you so much. So we're here with Mr. Telesford. Can you tell me your role at the workshop today?
Well, I was asked to do a presentation on the male reproductive system with regards to the sexual aspect of the male health.
And how did you find the session?
Well, it was very interactive, both from the young generation and the older generation. What was surprising is that the older male, they were rather happy about the topic, and they shared their experiences, and also the situation where sex is concerned, from their time to the present time, where sex is concerned.
Okay, how would you say was the general feedback of the workshop here in Canouan with the residents?
Actually, it was good. We didn't get everybody at first, like the crowd per se, but persons coming like by the twos and by the threes and the fours, and they participated well. They were happy to get new information and to learn new things, and on a whole, everything, the evaluations of the meeting were good.
This is a male symposium, and as a young man, being able to share with men in the community of Canouan in that way, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it made me feel good as well, because one, I get to interact with my age group, and also I get to interact with other males from the older generations, or from basically the older generation. And what was so surprising is that I learned from them even as they were learning from me, and I was very happy to know what the sexual aspect of the reproductive health was before and also now. So I really learned a lot, and that was my main focus, to educate and also to be educated.
So we're here with Ms. John, and she's one of the presenters at the Men's Health Symposium. Tell me, how did you find the symposium today?
It was really good. I'm happy about the turnout. the men, they were very interested in what I had to say, and they promised to take the knowledge home and make it an everyday practice. So I'm happy. I'm hoping to do a follow-up because I see that the people down here really need a lot of help, and unfortunately because of the terrain and so they can't grow the fruit and vegetables. So that is one of the challenges of getting them to eat healthy. But, working with them, I think we could make a difference.
Okay, what was the focus of your presentation?
My focus was on healthy eating for men especially, and foods, healthy eating and foods to avoid and foods to eat to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Okay, I realized though, even though the symposium was for men, some women came to support their husbands, sons, etc. And I noticed that you also work with some of them. What was that part of the process like?
Well, it was really good because, each one helped one. So if we have a mother and a son, or a mother and a daughter come in, or a mother and a brother, a sister and a brother come in, right? And they could support, they have the same health concern, and they're living in the same home, they could help each other. The support system is there, and with that, they could have start a healthy living, healthy lifestyle.
And based on your observation, generally, how would you say the symposium went?
It was very interesting. Oh my gosh! And I didn't expect the men to stick around as long as they to go to different focus group, and they had so many questions to ask, and trust me, it was really, really interesting.
We're here with Sister Arlita Scott, and she's a coordinator for the program. This is Men's Health. Why did you choose to come to Canouan to do this program this year?
Choose to come to Canouan for one specific reason. We know a lot of males work in Canouan, and most of them really don't really take time out to really check their health. They just come down, walk up, come up on mainland, spend like a weekend, and then they would come back down and walk without really taking care of themselves. So we thought, as we have been carrying it to different areas and things on mainland, that coming to the Grenadines and taking to them to see actually what impact it will have on them.
And how have you felt about the results from today's symposium?
Today, knowing that today is Saturday, and most of the men still walking, and seeing men coming like from the world to actually come to hear some of the lectures and to really get their self checked out. Very encouraging.
And what has the feedback been like from the participants?
Well, feedback have been excellent so far. Those persons who actually get in contact with, because we kind of like did it not like the usual where you would have the whole big lecture and person just sit. We kind of do it in groups so that when they come, 4 or 5 or 6 of them, we actually talk to them in different groups. And the response so far has been good. In terms of the prostate and the STDs that I was doing, there were some men who actually know a lot about the prostate, which was very encouraging to know, and they were able to tell some of the younger guys to allay some of the fears that they had in relation to the prostate. They were able to tell them they need to get their prostate done without even me telling them what to do. They were able to do that, which was excellent, because hearing it from their peers or somebody who's the same gender with them, it was really good.
I realized that quite a bit of them have been asking for follow-up and for the work to continue here, and even suggesting ways that they can support the Ministry of Health and the Family Planning Unit in getting the work done and getting the word spread down here. How sustainable do you think it is to come back into the Grenadines to do more work like that?
I mean, honestly, it's expensive, right? However, if getting one of the company, at least one company, to join force with the Ministry of Health would be beneficial, because the work that the Ministry of Health do, we don't really get compensation for it, and it's something that is a part of our job. So, I mean, if we get support from at least one company, maybe to house the participants, not the participants, but to house the facilitators, because Ministry would provide all the other necessary things. so just to house them. I mean, it could be a work in progress where at least once per year we are able to come down and offer this service to the men on the island.
Okay. Some women showed up at the workshop to give support. How did that impact the workshop?
Well, I mean, women are the backbone of men, and where women are concerned, even though the men come and the women come, what is happening is that they can take back the information to their whether husband or boyfriend or children or son, sorry, which would be very good. So it's not just to get the male, but once the male come and the female come, you take them.
The objectives of the symposium were met. The intent was to provide information on chronic non-communicable diseases, including lifestyle changes necessary to prevent, manage, and treat health-related conditions, including hypertension and diabetes, to increase awareness of sexually transmitted infections and their signs and symptoms, to increase awareness of sexual reproductive health among men, to provide information on nutritional requirements for working men, screening for diabetes, hypertension, and weight along with HIV, and to provide treatment, counseling, and referral to persons where necessary. Some of the risk factors for men's health that was addressed includes high blood cholesterol level, high blood pressure, diabetes, cigarette smoking, physical inactivity, dietary implication for reducing risk factors, overweight and obesity. There is also limited research on the connection of boron and prostate health, although some studies indicate that boron can reduce the risk of men developing prostate cancer. There was also the look at excessive soda consumption, excessive alcohol consumption, and it was advised to avoid heavy alcohol drinking as alcohol reduces bone formation and interferes with the body's ability to absorb calcium, which for men, heavy drinking is one of the most common risk factors for osteoporosis.